tongue.
Wrong tongue body spray. Reach for it.
Available at all fine skincare superstores.
Oh, it's Halloween time. Not really. I'm going to do my best to not make this a Halloween show, but it is October, my favorite month, and I'm going to try to save all that stuff for later. For right now, though, we are here playing this very cool thing I like to call Black Sack. It's the second time we've played it. We've played iterations of Black Burn over this last year, and it's pretty formidable. There's some really neat psychology going on here. This list has changed a little bit. Thanks for joining me, Shirazman Nim Chimpskey in the house. Appreciate that. We have 17 lands now. If you remember last time we played it, we played 18. And it just proved to be a little bit too much because you have to treat the Shambling Ghast like land. And you usually want to favor it if you have one land keeps and stuff where you're on the draw with Village Rites. It's kind of an auto keep. So because you can make a treasure token, excuse me, I got a little too much air in the pipes here. So what's cool about this list, though, is that you want your stuff to die. And the only exception is Bone Picker. Even Fleshbag, a lot of times you'll play it and then you sacrifice it to Village Rites in a matchup where it matters, like Hexproof, because then you want to, then cast Unearth on it. So there's a lot of neat synergy here. If this dies, it does 1 damage. If this dies, it does kind of fume spitter damage or accelerates your ramp in black, which is kind of a rare thing. This eats for 2 life and gains you life. This shoots anything for 2. This trades with anything in the format. This trades with 1 for 1 as long as your opponent's going tall and not wide, meaning investing in 1 creature and not many. And then, hey, if they do have many, we have many Crypt Rats, because if you count here and here, there's an old deck I like to play called 8 Rat, and that's why I called it that, because Unearth and Crypt Rats, really nasty. And a lot of times you can play Crypt Rats as bait if you have Unearth in your hand and they want to spend their turn galvanic blasting it or something, and then you just unearth it and then really trigger it, especially if you're only at 3 or 4 mana. Anyway, our sideboard, we've got 4 Duress, the 3rd Marauder, 4 Macabres, 4 Snuff Outs, and 2 Lifestaffs. Burn can sometimes be an issue here, as can excessive life gain. So that being said, we're going to go right here. I'm going to say 2 on this one, see if I can remember all this goodies, and we'll go from there. Let me check up in the chat here as I bring up our little thing here. Lorraine Sushi in the house. Rosamond and Nim Chimpskey. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Been a whirlwind week. The old saying, when it rains, it pours. I've had 2 pseudo job offers this last week, and I'm kind of waiting to hear. And of course, I call it my selfish podcast. Has nothing to do with Magic. I do mention a few cards here and there, but it's not about Magic. But it's Halloween themed. And that debuted today. And so it's just been kind of a whirlwind week for me. So I'm excited, but I'm nervous and all this other things. So, woo! All right, here we go. We're going to keep this. We love 2 landers. And like I said, we want to really lean on bringing out Shambling Ghast first, just because it accelerates our land, and we tend to, people want to use removal pretty quickly. I will say this, Heroic can be a big headache. This is probably the list that I've lost to, I would say, the most. We're going to bring out the Ghast, and next turn we'll kill it. We'll bring in a Bone Splitter, and it'll be a race. It's one of the main reasons I wanted to put in Fleshbag's main, is I couldn't beat this or Hexproof on game 1, and it kind of really relied on me drawing perfectly games 2 and 3, and I didn't want that to be the case. So I was running the Ghoul from revised something, Modern Horizons, the newest one, and it made a green squirrel when it died. And I had 2 of those, but I ended up switching it with Marauder. So, Thank you, Lorraine Sushi. That's the, if you want to get even more of this old bald guy, that's my podcast there, and where you can download it and stuff, called The Gundo Ghost. Like I said, just went live, so I'm pretty excited about that. There'll be one every Saturday until culminating at Halloween, and yeah, just pretty cool seeing everybody getting on our little, we have a little Facebook group page, and some of the locals already sharing ghost stories and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, a little too much there. All right, so here we go. We can block this and kill the Vigilance dude. Since he's got Vigilance, I'm going to do that just because we already have a Bone Picker in hand. Might as well save the life here. Get this on board. You know what? I think, nah, I'll kill it. Yeah, let's kill it now. We'll give that -1/1. Take nothing. Yeah, mono black sacrifice. We call it black sack. There are, as you can tell, there's 2 of them. We have a ton of draw effects in this list. So we'll bring this out. And yeah, I probably should have made that token there. I'll chill out on the bird there. Yeah, I probably should have. I think the better play there. That was a mini punt. I should have made the token. That way I could have rights the Footlight Fiend, and then had enough mana to bring out a Bone Picker there, and then we'd have a bit of a race on our hands. But as it sits right now, I think I'm just going to take this. I think I'll take it for now. Yeah. I want to kill that Bone Splitter on our turn. Yeah, just don't have enough coffee in me yet. All right, I'll kick it in gear here. Here we go. Let's we'll bring out this dude here. We'll attack just because. Sometimes people think you got a trick. All of our draws at instant speed. We ain't playing no slow sign in blood stuff here. If you remember the last few years, I really go over the top with Halloween stuff, and I end up playing like all 4 weeks. I end up going like over the top with Halloween stuff, and I got to remind myself not everybody likes it as much as I do. So I'm going to try to really save it for like the last 2 weeks of October, where it's a little bit more on theme. I'll be sneaking it in here a little bit, but so this might not be the last that you've seen. So we have drawn 2. Why is this asking for so many checks? Got it. Okay, I do not want to miss my hit up. Here we go. Boom and boom. And now you could have argued with the Vault of Whispers out. Might have been even better to use the rights there, but I kind of try to max out the mana just because we have Crypt Rats, and a lot of times you want to activate it and have your little tricks ready with Village Rites and such. So, okay, Homestead Courage, one of the newer cards, seeing a little bit of play. For strike, that Death Touch ain't going to mean anything here. I've considered Midnight Charm in this kind of strategy, or even with Stinkweed Imps and such. It's a nice little trick if you have Death Touch. First strike is your best friend. It's one of the best ways Hexproof and Heroic have around it. For right now, we're at a 6/6. I'm really going to lean on just trying to draw something next turn. We probably got to see, a lot of protection from black style spells. So the top draw here would be the Perilous Myr because we can block all day long with it. And we're getting mana screwed. This is a wee bit frustrating. Let's go on in here for 6. And honest, boy, this is rough. I think I might be able to keep a guy back next turn, but if I do that, I might not have enough turns, so I'm actually going to sacrifice now. Just because I know they've got a lot of protection from black things, and if I keep a dude back, we take 6, we're at 4, and then I lean on this being our blocker next turn, it might not work. So just going to try to play to our outs. We've killed the creature. Now we'll do this now, since we might draw into another one here. Boy, deck's not doing us any favors, is it? A little bit clunky, but all right. Oh, Alex Cascade says he was playing the Illusion deck. Yeah, it's funny. I've been getting, I don't know if that was you, Alex, or somebody else, but I think I've had like 2 or 3 comments on, I don't know if it was YouTube or Facebook page, but boy, people really want me to play that again. So might have to bring that out of the, got a lot of user submissions, some really cool ideas, cool tech. I'm just really thrilled with a lot of the community involvement and stuff. And they'll probably be showcasing one of those next week. Maybe we'll play Illusions on the 3rd. Remember, I'm going to be gone on the 23rd, and then we'll come back for the big Halloween show. So, which I may just play this again because I like this deck so much. If you, uh-oh, we're dead. Boink. Yep. All right. We start off with an L. That's okay. Put that there. Crunch, and we're dead. Okay, I'm curious. Is this going to let me draw? Well, we had a blocker coming up next, but at 17 lands, that's kind of strange. We even killed one and that happened. So, all right, we'll bring in that. We'll bring in all of our Snuff Outs. Crypt Rats is okay. This will help keep us alive. The Scorpion can actually go here. I'm going to get rid of all of them. It doesn't really... These can ping off little 1/1s or, you know, unheroic dudes. So I think I'm going to roll like that. I might lose a Costly Plunder here. I do like to keep one staff available. Yeah, just to keep up maybe with the Snuff Out count, and we'll go like this. So here we go. Oh, I'd still take the bear, I think, Dreamer Stingo. It still requires your opponent to do something outside of like a Quirion Ranger style effect. It's still really like that. All right, so we've got a 1-drop. We've got the dude, and we've got 2 draw spells, and we can unearth it. So this is actually a keep. Watch, they've got a blow-up artifact spell. Played Magic in the Spirit. Thank you, thank you. PT Bobby, Random Thought, Innocent Blood, and Sideboard or Heroic. No, there's just so many ways to bring back creatures, and I love leaning on this because I usually target it, even though it's a 3 attack body. Usually the correct play is to sack it to itself, and then you unearth it the next turn against, you know, hexproof and heroic when it matters. And you can't do that with an edict, you know, cost 7 mana investment to do that twice. So, all right, let's lead off here. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so heroic, burn, those can be some tough matchups. This does very good against Delver and quite a few decks out there. Does really good against elves, anything with 4 Crypt Rats main, or I should say 8. A little bit of a slow start for our opponent. Alrighty, we will attack, and hopefully we draw into a land source. This is why you want to lean on that zombie, because at 17 lands you can get marooned with 1 land, and we have so much draw spells, but we do have to get to that 2 mana spot pretty quickly. We'll go like this, and just because we've missed our land drop, I'm going to do this now. I'll hit for 2. It's a Black Nettle Sentinel, see? And we got flooded last game. Is it going to screw us this game? It is not, thank goodness. So we'll bring this out. Swamp, hello. All right. And since I have another Village Rites, I'm actually just going to keep tempo here. It's not the best, you know, it is a 1 spell for a 1 spell. I wouldn't do that if I only had 1 on Earth. But we've got the Fleshbag Marauder there, and I can shoot any 1/1 tokens that come out that will evade sort of an edict effect. So feeling pretty good here. We technically have 2 edicts in 1. No, I thought about it. Gosh, I've tried everything from Kildorian Dead to Innocent Bloods to all kinds of stuff in this one. Love it to death, I tell you. This is like easily one of my very favorite decks of all time. If anybody's played me in the last, 4 months just casually online, I'm almost always playing this. I really, 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 really love it. The psychology of it too. There will be a game hopefully today where our opponent's at like 3 or 4 life and we're attacking with like these guys, and they can't take it and they can't block it, and it's beautiful when that happens. I just love it. So we've got an EOT Village Rites. You know, you could wait if you want to be a purist and get in there with Bone Picker, but I've got enough targets now. Here's the Sky Guard. So that Perilous Myr is VIP here, just because there are so many ways for that to go down and get protected from, you know, whatever. It's I'm going to let this go through because we have the Marauder. Now I could sacrifice right now and shoot. Yeah, that might be a better call. Let's just get some value out of this and see if he's got a trick like a mutagenic growth or something like that to keep it alive. We'll see. They go so tall that kind of try to trick the investments in, but at first glance you're like, where's the removal? And this thing has a ton of removal. So we draw 2, they lose 2, and it's good times. And we still have the Fleshbag trick. Boink. And getting a little bit flooded again. I'll bring, you know what? Let's bring out the heavy hitter. I'm just going to hard cast it. Usually don't like to do this, but we're probably going to eat a journey or something like that, so we'll see how it goes. Attack! Yeah, the Gatekeeper's all right. Sometimes, too, though, as much as I like to say it's fun to throw that Fleshbag in the graveyard and then unearth it, sometimes given your clock or, you know, you want to go aggro if they've played something like a, what do you call, Weather the Storm or something, then you can really go crazy on that. So here's a scenario where if we don't draw, one of our draw spells to sacrifice the Footlight Fiend too, we've still got Fleshbag Marauder on our side. And we love this because that's just a 2-for-1. Umbras are great unless it's a sack effect. Now, Bone Pickers we tried last time, and there's part of me that hates the Bone Picker because we care about the Bone Picker, right? If they have any removal, that's a thing. All right, let me do this, and I know this is going to look weird to you guys. The purists out there are going to be like, oh, you want to sacrifice this, get extra value? No, you don't. You want to sacrifice this when you have a hand like this. Because it's just your Fleshbags in your hand again. And we can attack this turn. I'll lead off with that other Footlight Fiend. Got him on a 4-turn clock here. A little bit faster if you calculate in the sacrificial damage and such, so that's good times. Here we go. I said, pay this, dang it. The little devil. Yeehaw. Yeah, Fleshbag, pretty damn good in this list. I do 2 Shiraz. I don't like either, actually. And I just happen to have these, so. Alrighty. Depending on what he does here. Boy, he's just full of Umbras, isn't he? I'm probably going to side him out game 3, seeing what our game plan is. It's hard to do, though, because, we've got Perilous Myr, we've got the Fiend, we've got all kinds of goodies here. So, yeah. Alright. Well, I'm going to do this again, because we've got it again. Let's bring this out. And, technically, I guess we lose 2 cards. He loses 2 cards. It's nice that we just keep clearing the board here. All right. He sees the writing on the wall. So it's kind of counterintuitive, right? You would think, oh, I want to keep this heavy hitter out there. And I made that mistake for like 20 games. And then I was just like, wait a minute. The reason I'm bringing these in is to have that come into play effect, not to be a beat stick. Now, there's scenarios when you do want the beat stick. But for the most part, you can go the other route. Curious to bring in maybe Duress here. But even against COP, or not COP Black, well, that would suck. We do have loss of life effects, and we also, the Perilous Myr gets around a lot of like my creatures are protected from black. It's like, all right, check this out. So let's do a little superstitious shuffle. We didn't see any Snuff Outs. We'll put one Unearth here. We'll put a Crypt Rat there. There we go. This is never lost, right? I believe so, Nim Chimpskey. Actually, I haven't really done. It changed a bunch. It might have been one of those things where it changed, and then I know I've lost 1 land, and I was trying that new zombie that makes squirrel tokens equal to its power. I had 2 of those, and then I swapped them in for the Fleshbag because, like I said, I had no hexproof game 1 or heroic, so that was a bit frustrating. I don't know about this hand, guys. We're on the draw, and I can sacrifice the Lifestaff to the Dispute, which kind of accelerates our hand a bit. I don't know about this hand, guys. We do have a draw 2 on turn 2. We'll have 3-4 mana. Let's keep it. We're on the draw. Our land's perfect. This kind of hand, a lot of times I'll throw back and I get no land 2 turns in a row or 1 land. And we just got to survive early on. Of course, he's got the 1-drop. Just like in game 1 here, so that doesn't bode well for us. I wish they had a slow start like last turn, but we'll see how we can do. That's a good news. We'll bring out a Lifestaff. Maybe this will be relevant. Maybe I won't sack it. You never know. Yeah, Deadly Dispute's such a good card. Lots and lots and lots of fun. Man, I woke up this morning. The fog was so thick you couldn't see probably 100 feet in front of you. It was really neat. We live right overlooking a really big park, and it's like, whoa, where'd everything go? Well, it makes sense, Dreamer Stingo. That'd be a metagame definer. It's a lot of card. 2 for pretty much 3 damage guaranteed. Broken up any way, which way you wish. A lot more than that if they let it hit them a few times and such. And like I said, show me a 2-drop that can trade with Guardian of the Guild pack. A lot of people run into that, make that mistake. They get so used to that being protected from kind of everything. And I know they're holding on to like, oh, this creature gets protection from black till the end of turn sort of spell. Here we go. We're feeling pretty smart. I'll just slow roll this till Unearth shows up. Honestly, I'm going to probably just drop that Marauder next turn unless he puts a you-know-what on this. But, if they put a cartouche on that, then I block, and then I shoot it, and then we're good to go. I think I'm going to let this through. These decks can hit a lot harder than that. Good thing white usually never has trample, so we're going to get a lot of value out of this. We'll bring out you-know-who. He's probably holding COP, or this creature gets protection from black sort of spell. Again, I'm losing the Marauder. We're much more likely to draw another one or draw an Unearth. And I'd much rather have that Perilous Myr out and about so I can sack it to Dispute and do 2 colorless damage at instant speed. Plus, let's not forget, we can always just equip it and start gaining some life, because we are only at 13, so that sucks. Step comes down with a new arts across from us. Pretty blinding, actually, right? Protection from black. That's interesting. What say you? We're protected from black, if that makes any sense. We'll rock like this. We will attack. If he blocks, that's fine. Does anything, that's fine. I know the correct play here, guys, is, you know, sit around and wait and get them a little aha moment, but they have so many answers usually that I'm just going to utilize this while he's tapped out. We'll gain some life. We'll kill his sideboard card. Bringing this in, making a token, hopefully drawing a land. There we go. Thank you for agreeing with me, deck. We'll bring this out. We'll drop this. And we'll drop another one too. Why not? Hey, let's make red. I feel like Bob Ross. Oh, I've put a little happy devil out here. A little red devil. Yeah, yeah. Good times. My buddy's back from the Amsterdam. He's so cool. When people go on these big world journeys, friends of mine and stuff, they're always like, can I get you anything? And I always want rocks from historical places, like just cool stuff, you know, just like who would have thought? And he brings me back a variety of awesome rocks. I got awesome friends, but this really little unassuming rock he brings back, I'm going to have it turned into a necklace. And I love that it was the most kind of boring looking one, and it was from Einstein's property. So hopefully I'll do a little osmosis here and balance it on my head. Maybe I'll get smarter. Is that how it works? I probably look like a jackass. Hey, look at that. Right on cue, right? But before we let the cat out of the bag, let's equip. And maybe he'll just be tricked into blocking here. Let's do that first. So we've got him kind of either way here. If he's got a mutagenic response to this, we're still going to gain some life. I'm going to ramp our mana. We'll do this. Playing in mana. This is a bad matchup. We're pulling even here. Okay, cool. Now we're going to draw some cards, and we don't need to give away our Unearth. Hey, look, stuff died. That's cool. And this is, might as well upgrade that. And we can Unearth now if we needed to. So, pretty formidable little list. I felt like it was still there. It's already working. Yeah, Obsidian Alkalite would have met the same demise via Perilous Myr or, what do you call, Fleshbag Marauder. Come on, throw an Umbra on it. Let's go. All right, there we go. We like that. I think I'm just going to run into that. If he wants to trade, that's cool. Hop, hop, ba, da, ba. As we attack. Yeah, I should have played a warm-up game. I was a little late to wake up this morning, so that very first game I had kind of a semi-punt. That was frustrating. Come on, let's trade. It's a good time. No? All right. Hey, we will cast the Fleshbag Marauder, getting rid of things like this, and then we'll drop a rat. Pretty intimidating board state here. Oh, Homestead Courage, I don't think it's good enough to get in there, Dreamer Stango, but better write down the W there. So that's, I'm not going to lie, that's a bad matchup, but we were able to pull that off. Really, really in love with this deck. I wish Tron wasn't such a thing. That can just go really long. Yeah, I've played, like I said, I've gotten a few really high up finishes in the what do you call it? Pauper Classic Tuesdays with this list. But I'll tell you, burn can be an issue, so much so that I sometimes have a version of like I might move like a total of 4 staffs in, like being able to maybe take out maybe 1 Duress in the staff. But so against burn, you know, we're really going to need Duress and Lifestaff, and hopefully you see it. And why do we get to see it? Because we're drawing 2, drawing 2, drawing 2. So I think we've done this before, but that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 16, you know, 20, 24 draw spells. That's half a deck, right? And then you factor in some other shenanigans with... It's just so much fun. So you look at it, you're like, where's the cast down? Where's the Snuff Out? Snuff Out's in the sideboard, by the way. But, you know, we've got a little ping effect. We've got a shock effect. We've got a edict effect. We've got a wrath effect. We've got a life gain effect. We've got a ramp effect and removal effect. And this is the card that I owe an apology to. Every time I play it, I'm like, I'm sorry, Shambling Ghast. Just like Nim Chimpskey last week, apologizing to cards. I owed this card a big... In this deck, this thing is like way better than the stats suggest. So it's pretty awesome. So yeah, I've been having a whole lot of fun. Very simplified sideboard. I've considered Bazooka Box. I just hate having a something come into play tapped here. This is sometimes you need that last little mana for the Crypt Rat, or you know, get there with the Fleshbag Marauder and such. So that slowdown must mean that we're about to join a game. Here we go, and we say yes to this. We love 3 mana. We've got a draw. We've got creatures, and we've got recursion, so we'll keep this. I know a lot of brewers out there, they'll see that 4 Unearths main. It's like, isn't that redundant? That's how this deck wins. Redundancy. Just go, go, go. As we saw last game. Fleshbag Marauder bringing the heat. I think I lost that first game. I wonder if I probably could have salvaged that had I played it better. We would have been 2-0 instead of 2-1, but hey, that's what it's all about, right? Learning and burning. Woo! So, yeah. I was so tempted to just queue up a huge Halloween show complete with graphics and all kinds of new intros. And I was like, it's only October 2nd. All right, good. So if we're going to lose, this is going to be the game. Or unless it's all burn after this, right? And of course, this is the game where, you know, we do it. I can't say that. We have a first turn Scorpion. That's pretty good against burn, especially with Unearth behind it, right? So we'll go like this. We'll attack here. I'm going to kill this right away just for the damage effect here. Okay. Actually, I might want to wait on that. I'll tell you why. If they bring out, I'm gonna bring out the Myr. If they bring out a Thermal Alchemist here, a lot of times they'll block and they don't expect you to be able to kill your own thing, and then you're able to kill their amplifier. So just because it's turn 2, I think the Perilous Myr play is the better one there. Well, it's Lifestaff in this first game, that's for sure. So, you know, if they got Searing Blaze, that'll suck because... Oh, there it is. Okay, so hopefully they block here. So either one they block, we can still do the damage. And I'll do a big, like, you know, kind of digital pause here. Like, oh, man. Now we attack. What this does, lets us get a little bit of damage in. And if they do block, it kind of sets a standard. There we go. Cool. Make sure the damage goes through. Bonk. Let's make sure we hit the right one. But it kind of time walks them, right? They use their whole turn to do that. And clicking real slow here, we're able to get rid of their amplifier, which will definitely keep them in the game. The bad news, we don't get to gain life, which can be very relevant. But you could argue we're kind of calling it even, right? I believe I'm going to play this. I really want to save that Unearth for that Scorpion. Got another Thermal Alchemist. What are the odds, right? I guess I can just unearth it and shoot it if that's the case. So let's bring out the Pain Boys. Woo! Yeah, we got a total of 3, but 2 of them are hiding in the sideboard. But it's so cool because, like, if we had it out now, or we saw in that last game, right? You can kill it. We have 8 spells that can draw 2 cards off of a Lifestaff. So it's super organic that way, meaning that between Vault of Whispers, the Perilous Myr, and then, you know, the Lifestaff, we're good to go, baby. Good. All right. No more crap coming our way. I'm probably going to get lit up at the end of this turn. That's fine. We'll draw a bunch of cards. If we 2-0 burn, it does happen, but it's not a regular thing, guys. Believe me. It is not. Morning control for days. Hey, cool. Game Hub here. Hope you're doing well. Awesome. Good to hear from you. Nice for chiming in. Thanks for joining us. All those goodies. I'm playing one of my very favorite creations I call Black Sack. because we do a lot of sacking of black, just like this. Draw 2 cards, gain 2 life. Opponent loses 2 life. Hey, we can do it again. As boring as this play may seem, I think the correct call against Burn, being one of our... Look at that. Our 2 worst matchups, right? I was calling is Burn and Heroic. And they're our first 2 matchups. So I'm just going to... This is just a respect play. You know, I could have gone crazy, shot him one more time, draw 2 more cards. I just, you know, if he kills any of this stuff, it's going to hurt him. And, oops. All right, I misclicked. I meant to hit Serrated there. Darn it. All right. Mini punt. Kirov. Yep, that was a misplay. I totally thought I clicked on it. I don't even know if that was a misplay. That was that was these not working. I swore I clicked on it, but that is a pretty small window of that's like a millimeter difference. Dun dun dun. Black Sack. Thank you for that, Nim Chimpskey. There's the deck list. I am super proud of it. That is hundreds of games and hours of fine-tuning this. So please do me a favor and play it as is. It really requires a whole different line of thought as far as like creatures are kind of useless or they're not things to be cherished, except for the Bone Picker, of course. It'll just kind of present a new play style to you. I think you'll find fascinating. So I'm going to attack here. I want to keep that Myr alive and well. I'll plunder a tapped vault. Well, that's a wee bit frustrating, isn't it? I can shoot that. I'm going to plunder again so I can have a rights option at the end of turn here. We're drawing cards. There he is. If we played a land, we have 13. We could still die pretty easily here, like double bolt turn. All of a sudden we're in single digits, and so I really want to get that out there. It'd be nice if we had 2, but what you gonna do? How cool would that have been, right? We could have costly plundered and one of our scorpions there, and then drawn the other one and costly plundered that. As it sits, we're gonna be it's gonna be a close game. Getting nervous. Bolt Fire Blast. Hey, that's good news. So we've got 4 damage. That's 5, 6. Hey, all right. Look at that. Start with a W against Burn. That's pretty cool. It usually goes the other way. You lose and then win-win if it goes there. But, oh, man, I think they disconnected. All right, well, we'll just jump right into the third one there. Burn got its feelings hurt. If it goes super fast, don't worry. We'll play an extra round or 2. Don't want to leave you guys hanging with a super short show, but sometimes that's the way things go. Woo! So yeah, if you missed the top of the show, got all kinds of new events happening in my life. Had a really cool meeting with a place right here in town, and might be the creative director for some cool little endeavors coming up and whatnot. And then another thing, it rains, it pours. It's frustrating because if they both work out, I'm going to have to choose. And it's like, as you guys have followed me over the last year from COVID times, you know, it's been so frustrating trying to find a gig. Like, you know, I've got little stuff on the side here and there, but like just something that, you know, you fantasize when you have structure of a life without structure. Like, oh, I wish I just had like 3 weeks off or a month off or whatever. When it happens, it's kind of the reverse. I just really am craving, like, I just want ritual. I want, you know, responsibility. I want a place to be. But I never thought that would be the thing. But don't want traffic. I don't want traffic. It'd be really nice to ride my bike or walk somewhere. But all right, here we go. Enough about me. Let's go into here. And Master of Seasons is our opponent. All right. It's kind of an awkward hand. We'll keep it. We don't have any draw, but if they're not on swamps or mountains, we've got a pretty fast hand here. And a little bit of ramp when we don't need it because we drew 4 lands. So right on the edge of a keep push there. We'll see. All right. Down comes swamp, which is fine. Here we go. I've got this. Let's see if he wants to kill it. So it's ideal here. I mean, if somebody does kill something like this, then you put out 7 damage, right? Double Bone Picker. And sometimes Mono black, it all depends on Gary. Games go a variety of different ways. That's all I'll say there. Okay, let's attack our whatchamacallit, bone pickers are not going to be long for this world. Write down mono black. Mono black, I still can't figure quite out. I'll beat it 2-0 like for 2 days straight, and then I'll lose 1-2 to it for like 2 days straight. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? But it really does just pivot on Gary. Do you have an archive of your decks? Well, we do. If you go to MTG Goldfish, if you bring up the deck list, one of our mods there, and you can just see the other ones that have happened. That's so we're going to just make a token here. Ramp City. Oops, hold on. And that way you can just click on like the username and see a lot of the past. I wish I had done it for all time, but so now we've got Costly Plunder outs. If they spend their whole turn, you know, casting down one of these things, we draw 2 cards off of it. So we trade our Costly Plunder and a picker for that, and you know, that's how it goes. We'll bring this back. Yeah, we got enough mana here. I think I'll be all right. We play on both, Surge Melee. We play 12, draw 2 spells. It's black sack for a reason. Yeah. Costly Plunder is the worst one. We got Village Rites, and we have Deadly Dispute. It is awesome. I kind of want that to go down, man. Because if he pings anything here, nah, we'll just shoot it. I'll get rid of it. Draw 2 cards. They take 2 anyway. Problem here is, you know, Gary's going to get him right back in it if I don't start trying to kill those damn rats. So go like this. I really like this draw. And here we go. So if this eats something end of turn, we can shoot the rats with it, and we still have Deadly Dispute to mop up the pieces later. So rats can suck, but it still goes through. What's he hitting here? Go nice and safely here. Sure, we'll shoot that dude. He's got a little bit of a turncoat thing going on, right? And you know what? Let's since that's going to die anyway, let's just draw from it, right? We'll do this. That way we draw 2 cards. He shoots himself and loses a chittering rat, and we draw 2 cards. And oh yeah, we get a we get a mana ramp. That's a pretty good deal. And we get a little bit safer from Gary. I know he's 2 drops away from dropping that. So Surge Melee. Yeah, this is probably the top deck when I play it. People are like, cool list. I'm like, where do I get it? That sort of thing. Good times. I'll see your Crypt Rat and raise you 1. I think I'll just play 1, right? If we draw into a ping spell, it's going to be fun. It's some interesting synergy, Kombaji, which is with that. Not quite sure if it's a thing or not. All right, well, first things first, let's attack. I'm tempted to 4. So this is an interesting scenario, right? We're going to bring out our Perilous Myr. So if he activates kind of really anything, if he does it for 2, then he loses because the 2 goes on the stack, and we're good to go there. So much so that I might consider let's make this a little double indemnity clause here, and yeah, we'll bring out the Scorpion so that it's a little more pronounced. Boink. You go ahead and ping stuff. The witches have been neutered. If a swamp hits, here comes Gary, and this is going to make this a bit of a headache, especially if he's got another one right after this, but let's end up playing our own. Yeah, darn it. I think I missed the, if I brought that out, I could have done, no, because I just dropped the Myr, so I wouldn't have had the mana to trip it at the same time. Never mind. But I might do it now. Cool. Yeah, let's go. Attack with everything. Black hates this. It's like, wait, you're supposed to be afraid of my big bodies. To which I say, no. So that'll take 1. I can bring out rats for 2. All right. Is he going to shoot anything in response? He's like, well, I could shoot that in response. It's a tough decision, I tell you. It really is. He just really wants that witch to work. Look at that. He's like, I want this to survive. So we're going to point this Myr at Gary, because we just don't have enough to do that unless he's silly and uses the witch right now. And these will go 2, 3. We'll drop the rat, and then we'll just win. If you look closely at the Serrated Scorpion here, we do this for 2. Boop, 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 boop. And we wipe the board, double checking nice and slow. And when the Scorpion dies, he eats life for 2. Boink. And just like that. These W's are getting tiresome, I tell you. Oh, now we go. Well, a lot of stuff's going to die, and we need time against Gary because they've probably seen a bit of our game plan there. I do really like Crypt Rats against this matchup. Sometimes I can get a little bit marooned with too much draw there. So Fleshbag's pretty damn good here too. I know it seems crazy. A lot of times I really like to lose Bone Picker because it turns on the removal, but we didn't see too much removal. I'll lose 1 Crypt Rat. I want the acceleration here. These all trade with mono black, right? So Phyrexian Rager runs into this hits it, and then it flings it. Same thing here. There's just, even this. A lot of times people just run right into this, and it's like, well, it'll kill your 2/2. So the Scorpion's kind of the worst one on that. And that being said, I'll lose 1 Scorpion, and we're going to go like this. Yeah. Fleshbag's just so relevant when you're running so many Unearths. Pestilence on a stick. That is correct, sir. We like this hand. We've got, I really love 2-land hands with some graveyard, and this is a pretty great hand, so we'll keep this. Now, the fastest show ever if I keep running over fools. I got to be the fool. I know I've played like a fool a few times already, but the deck's so good, it saved me. Hey, derailed just one random guy. Good to hear from you. All right, deck, that is enough lands. Please no more. So again, the psychology's at work here, right? Do you kill it? Which shocks you and gains me 2 life. That's like 3 spells, and it costs you a card. And what's the best is when you're playing against like a Rakdos Mage, and they keep trying to kill your stuff, and you beat them to it. You're like, no, I'll kill it first. You're like, you want to lightning bolt that? No, I'm going to Deadly Dispute. And then they're like, well, I'm going to, I don't know, terminate in response. And you're like, Village Rites. And it's just like, who can kill it first? We're playing for the same team, I tell you. I wish I could come up with a catchier moniker than Black Sack, but it's so accurate. We want things to die. We want to do things. And when you can, you want to get rid of this. This is our worst draw spell, even though it's pretty awesome still. But you can't beat this. And look at Sign in Blood, right? 2 mana, hurts you usually, and sorcery speed. Instant. Good times. So now even here, if they do a bad move like Cast Down, we could either Deadly Dispute or Village Rites, and then we can just drop Bone Picker either way with that play too, because this gives you ramp. So much so that I think I'm going to try it now. We'll Dispute now, just trying to max out the mana. Get some things going here. We're probably going to eat a Cast Down. It's pretty obvious that's what's rolling about, but got to make sure they've got it, right? We did kill a creature this turn, so let's go. And hopefully it's a Chainer's Edict effect, so it eats their whole turn, but it's probably not. Yep. Bye-bye. So we're up 3 cards. Cooper the Red in the house. That's totally what it is, Dreamer Stango. Oh, I didn't know that was the quote. They want to kill my man? Well, 2 can play that game. See, if everybody in the world played Magic like crazy, we could just call this Orcish Artillery Black. People would just be like, cue the sound effect of the, bobblehead just, like, what the hell's that? All right. We'll bring out a Scorpion. And, sometimes somebody will Wretch Mind you, and you can just pitch a Vault or, what's the other dude called that I was talking about? You know what I'm saying? All right, let's just unearth now, just in case there's some sort of edict effects. We'll just bring out double Scorpion and have a good time. We've got Village Rites back up, kind of a reset turn there. It's just like, God dang it, quit getting value. I want to kill stuff that matters. And there's the Time Walk turn. Don't want to badmouth it too bad because, you know, they pay their dues, and then that Gary, if they draw right, comes down and it's all she wrote for a whole long time. I'm going to get the damage in here. Sometimes you can get a little too draw happy with this kind of style. I tell you guys, it is intoxicating when you play this list against a blue mage and it's mid-game and you look and you've drawn like 9 more cards than they have, and there's all these preordains and brainstorms in their graveyard. It's nuts. It kind of has everything, and that's why I love it so much. And if you look way back in time when I first started writing articles and stuff, and especially when I used to play for rent money and ante way back in like 94, 95, black has always been one of my favorite colors. Actually, my favorite color. It just hasn't always been the best playable one. And I also like the psychology too of like everybody in the Pauper universe. I don't mean everybody, but 99% of you out there, you get this tunnel vision of what mono black is supposed to be like. And yeah, I'm playing Footlight Fiend and a Perilous Myr, but come on, it's all swamps. This is a different take on mono black, and I think it's a much upgraded, better version. As now I just get steamrolled by like 3 black decks in a row, and they just top deck like fiends, but I just love it. Is this a Naked Gary? It is. Not too worried about that. We're not going to be getting in. But, you know, at this much mana, it doesn't really even pay. We just attack. That way we get in an extra damage, whatever he blocks. This is a bit frustrating. He might have... I'm going to keep this in until I have to sacrifice this, then I'll drop it. And I don't want to be chittering rats here. So we're just going to attack here. Whenever he blocks, we sacrifice, draw 2 cards, do 1 more damage to him, so it's like he didn't block. Gary, please put some clothes on. So we'll do this, getting rid of our Vault of Whispers as far as using it for mana. Not that black has really a way of getting rid of that, but draw some cards. Cool. We did some stuff. Rock on. And here we go. Well, let's bring out something else that wants to die. I wonder if they're holding like 4 Defiles. Well, they already used 1, but you know what I mean. Good to have, just in case. I have lost this week to a mono black deck, but it was old school. It was running Tendrils of Corruption, and that's what I'm a little afraid of here. That's why I want to have Village Rites in response. All right. There's the lovely lady. It's about Crypt Rat time, isn't it? You don't really have too many ways around that, unless I can fly over. 1, 2, 3. I think we'll just keep it. This way we can trip the rats if he double blocks, and then we'll have options. So I could play the rat. It trips for 3. I could kill the board, which is kind of paramount right now. I'm just going to attack and make him think that there's a trick. And there kind of is. The trick is he's going to lose 4 life no matter what this turn. And then the rat's going to make it 3 more. And it might look a little reckless, and I would agree with you if you didn't know much about Gary. But if he drops another one, this game can get out of hand pretty quick. Oh, I love this. I love this. This is great. Great. Wonderful. You use a card. My guy's going to die anyway this turn. That's awesome. Thank you. Love it. It's almost like I just duressed him for 0 mana and it didn't cost me a card either. Like I said, it's just a new way of thinking and playing. It's not better or worse. It's just new. You've got to, I guess, get over your old self when it comes to mono black stuff and understand that this play style so far has been really superior. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. Kind of shutting the door. Make him play another Naked Gary. And we're not too naked here ourselves, since we can Costly Plunder our Vault of Whisper and vault us back into prominence, creature style wise. So when they get down 5 or less, Perilous Myr, you know, the little Scorpion, things like that, start getting very interesting. Because do you kill them? Do you block them? If you don't block them for a few turns, it's Dead Milkman. That'd be a great name for this list. All right, so now they're going to... This is just... It's very hard for us to lose here. It's happened, believe me. They string together double witch, and then Gary next turn, all of a sudden they're at 13 life, and things are getting frustrating. But I like that too, because the witches is kind of a dead draw, unless they have a Gary in their hand, which they probably do, let's be honest. So that's 4 life we're playing with, right? Silly as this looks, I'm actually going to plunder first. Let's see what we get. Lifestaff shows up. All right. Bring this down. We'll drop here. And I'll drop the Fiend. Put this on here. And I guess we wait. I hope he shoots that. That'd be funny as hell. Or Gary goes on the stack, then he shoots it. And then I shoot it in response. Yeah, see, he's got... Dang it, he's got it. Gary showing up. This is a total Gary play. He's going to be at 8 life, and this is going to suck. All right. Which is fine. We'll at least be able to kill the rat. See, it's a game all of a sudden. Fully clothed Gary. Yep, that's what I was afraid of too. Now, if I attack with everything, I can pretty much kill everything but Gary. I'm going to shoot this right now. I'll gain the 3 life. The Gary body's just a little too big for our britches. Can't really bluff through a 2-1 there. It's just going to do 2 damage. Cool. If we had 1 more mana, we could EOT the vault or the Lifestaff for that matter, but Lifestaff will help keep us in it till we draw, like, you know, another answer, right? I'll bring out this. It'll probably, you go to equip it, they try to shoot it, and then we can costly plunder it, and we get that mana back that we wasted on this tempo play, but it at least hits them a little bit, so that's interesting. Or we just kill, I think I like this play better. Let's target this with the witch's ability, right? And then when this dies, I can just give that -1/1. And why do we want it to die when we can just draw cards, right? Might as well. I'll just do this. I'll say you get -1/1 and your witch will kill your dude. And we're still going to draw 2 cards. Man, that kind of sucks. It's like the worst thing we could have drawn in that order, too. That's frustrating, because now if he's got a Chittering Rats, we're just stuck kind of replaying stuff. But I'll do it, man. We're just going to trip the board and wrath it. We're at 18. The Lifestaff will help keep us in it. We might be able to get a free ping out of the Kombaji Witches if we try to equip the rat first to get back some of our life there. But, hiya. Yeah, Crypt Rat seems not too bad. Understatement City. Oh, God, is this another Gary? It is not. Hey, cool. Draw a card and lose a life. Boy, they're really going all in here. Kind of liking this. We're going to take 2 and then wipe the board. Now, we got to keep in mind we're going to take 5 at instant speed because of that, you know, the Unearth ability of First Sphere Gargantua. Such an amazing card if you can get it into the graveyard, but hard casting it, yikes. I do believe. That's pretty cool. So I've got enough to kill everything and equip, so I'll try to do it. Let's make sure 4, 4, 4. Yep, I'll do this to this. If he wants to trip it now, that's fine. It'll cost him a card still, see what I mean? And do we just wait? Yeah, might as well see if he's going to use either the witch or a spell on it, right? Or cast another Gary and we wrath the board in response, just like Spellstutter Sprite comes down and you can, then it checks to see what's out there. Oh, we're clicking real slow here. Get past this combat trick if we can survive till then we don't take 5 from the Gargantua coming back with Unearth speed. We'll have a Serrated Scorpion to get into its way next turn. If they want to kill it, it'll eat for 4. Come on, use a card on the Crypt Rat. All right, cool. 2, 3, 4. He's still going to hit us for 5 if he's looking closely. Or maybe there's a Tendrils move here. I'm not sure, but we're not waiting to find out. It'll be close regardless. Here comes Gargantua. We sacrifice Air. Strange card to bring in against us, or to keep in against us. I don't know what the list is. Yep, that's a lot of damage. But we're going to get 5 back once that Scorpion dies, if you look closely. I'm going to get at least 2 back. And that's what's fun with the Lifestaff in this list. You put it on stuff, and they're like, oh, I want it. And it's like, yeah, you're still playing right into our game here. I mean, sometimes you're up against the wall, and it is the correct play to kill the thing and keep pressure off. But for the most part, it's so fun to turn things on its head, right? 99% of Magic's history, you're trying to do stuff to my creatures, and it's like, well, I want you to now. How you like them apples? A Crypt Rat with 1 life. This is interesting. So now the Scorpion can't die. Look closely, ladies and boys, as we delve. Oh man, this is brutal. I'll bring this out. Put this on it. And we'll do this just in case another Chittering Rats. I'm sure Gary's going to show up again. It'll suck. Hey, African Haggis from Johannesburg, South Africa. Wow, been following and loving your channel for the past year. This is my first time I caught you live. That makes my week. African Haggis, thank you so much. That's so cool. It just blows my mind that I'm transmitting. Obviously, that's how the internet works, but still, being an old schooler, I'm just so used to playing at the local store and stuff. And so when I like Nim Chimpskey and stuff from the Netherlands, we got South Africa representing. Oh, good times. My brother's been to the Cape down there in Johannesburg and just had a great old time. But he told me some really scary stories about the wild, I think it was wild baboons, and he could hear them like in the high grass. And the guy that was giving him like a tour was like, we have to go. It was like, oh man, pretty foreboding. So that was awesome. Yeah, and that's where the singer, one of my favorite guitarists, Dave Matthews, is from Johannesburg, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm from Spain, says Alex Cascade. Hey, yeah, everybody chime in. Let's get some painting the world going on. See the conundrum here? So there's 2 Garys in the yard. He's got a rat. He's probably got a handful of removal or blockers. But what do you do here? I told you guys this was going to happen. Now watch, he's going to have like double tendrils. I don't have any sack outlet, even though I normally have 12, right? But that's why this list is just so intoxicating. I just love playing it. It's just, you feel like some mental scientist. You're like, what are you going to do now? What you got for me? Woo! I haven't even taken a break yet. Ah! Chainer's eating bone picker. What is this? Oh, maybe he's still got us with like a corrupt, maybe? Is that what this is? Oh, okay, he's just going to, he's just going to trip the game here and go to the next game. Nice play. Or nice out, I should say, right? It's a draw. It's frustrating when we've got the win up top, but we didn't gain enough life there. So that's maybe 1 or 2 times in our history that's happened. I like our board here. Yep. Just going to keep it as is. Canada. Yee. UK. Global Pauper Alliance. Very nice. I like the sound of that. That's pretty cool. So the Lifestaffs weren't quite enough to keep us in it. Kudos to our opponent for seeing me out there. I was too power hungry and kind of punch drunk with like how much I love this deck. I'm like, I gotcha. It's like, no, I don't. So good for him. Never seen that on MTGO. Says control for days. Yeah, it's pretty rare, but Mono or Crypt Rats is one of the 1 cards that can kind of do that. So Evankar's Justice to a lesser degree. Yeah. I think there's there's, what is it? Flame something in red that does 4 damage to both players. That's a pretty cool option too. So kind of glad I didn't 2-0 that one because it makes for more examples. Actually, this might go to game 4. Wouldn't that be something? I better watch my time and stop being such a damn chatterbox. Flame Rift, thank you for that, Cooper the Red. Of course you knew that one. Woo! If you're just joining us and you are in the Halloween spirit and like Halloween as much as I do, I made my own. And again, this has nothing to do with Magic, but it's a very highly produced podcast that drops every Saturday. Today was the first episode, and it's available on podcast platforms all over the world, called The Gundo Ghost, Gundoghost. And just kind of a little surrealistic storytelling, old school fireside chat style. But again, not anything to do with MTGO. I'm being selfish and trying to get more likes and stuff. So if you like it, please leave me a nice review. And if you don't, well, try to get selective amnesia. We don't like this hand. We've got a 2-draw spell, and this is the kind of hand that can kill you real quick. So we're going to mulligan this. Thank you for that, Nim Chimpskey. We'll mulligan. All right, good. We'll keep this, and we'll get rid of a swamp, even though it's a beautiful swamp. We'll say done. That's so cool. South Africa. I love it. Woo, woo, woo. So there's the links. Thanks to my mods. I'll try to make that the last mention of it. But I worked so hard on that thing, and if you like it, please zone out, close your eyes, and listen to it with a good pair of headphones on. That's how it's supposed to be experienced. So I got to be careful to drop that Bolt of Whispers so we can deadly dispute if we keep drawing horribly like we are. All right, I think we're going to lose this game. Given our draw and the cadence of this turn, if there's a Chittering Rats right behind this, it's going to get ugly with a Gary soon to follow. That can get a little nasty. Change of plans. We'll drop the Scorpion, and we'll at least have an option here. Maybe we still have a shot. We've got the Unearth, I tell you. Oh, there's a lot of reasons. Control for days. We used to play for 2-3 years only leagues, and then we started getting sniped so hard. Games were super slow because the person was just looking what I was doing, getting a free Duress every turn. And, I was footing the bill each time. And, our numbers started going like this. And then a lot of viewers, many of whom are in the chat right now, were like, you're getting sniped like weekly. I'm just like, oh my God, now that makes some sense. That was mega frustrating. All right, do we slow roll this? Let's attack, because sometimes they'll just let it through. They might not. Oh yeah, that's a really good idea, African Haggis, yeah. The only bad thing about Dave Matthews is that they got so popular that it kind of became like not cool to like them. And I'm like, I'm sorry, especially their first like three or four albums are just phenomenal. The musicianship that they display is just off the chart. I'm going to dispute here. Yep. I'll go like this. Okay. Really like to bring that bone picker down, but I'm not going to. We'll drop Footlight Fiend. If I drop the bone picker, he's just going to shoot it twice. I'm just going to drop it. Gotta use it on something, right? I don't know, Alex Cascade. Like I said, I've got so many cool user submissions. They're all like 70% there. I want to keep that exchange always open. Careful where you click here, Gamaji, which is going to commit suicide here as Footlight Fiend does the rest, and we turn off any sort of Gary shenanigans. And now they have to use a real spell to kill Bone Picker. But anyway, get back to your point. I guess my only request, if I could wave a wand, I wish people would send me a little bit more finished lists. Sometimes they can be like, here's an idea I just kind of threw together, and there's something there sometimes, but I'm not saying all the time. But that part gets a little frustrating where you're just like, come on, man. I'm one guy. I can't spend all week fine-tuning a new idea and stuff. So that part can get a wee bit strange. Well, I want to attack here. I'm going to unearth that Footlight Fiend because the Witch is active, and then I can get rid of that Chittering Rat. We're still a turn or two away from you-know-what showing up. Cast this. Yeah. Serrated Scorpion's nice, but with this combination out, I kind of want to neuter her. And this can trade evenly. And we can draw 2 cards, so feeling pretty good. But boy, from some of the emails I'm getting, it seems like everybody wants illusions again, which I would have never seen coming. Be careful here. You don't want a Village Rites here. Yeah. All right. Well, this makes it pretty easy. We'll sacrifice the Fiend. I guess we'll shoot you in the face. This is when I wish I did have Costly Plunder or a Deadly Dispute with that Vault of Whispers sitting there. It's nice to be able to do something, but Pauper Tim's in the house. Talk about your MTG Pauper royalty. I know I like to say that, but it's true. Do your homework. Pauper Tim via the Orange Mitten online is one of the many people you have to thank for Pauper being so popular online. So make sure to represent. That's what I'm trying to say. Woo! Here we go. Footlight Fiend. Magic needs more devils. Apologies to any religious persuasion folks out there, but I like devils. I think they belong in Magic. Right up there with dragons. Love them, love them, love them. Here we go. Same sort of thing. You want to use a good spell on Footlight Fiend. It'll cost you, baby. Okay, well, we're going to get our cards back here. Draw some cards. Boink. How cool is that? We'll drop here. We'll drop here. Anybody in love with this deck like I am? Just, you know, it still hasn't really kaboomed. There's some turns you can just be like, oh my god, but the psychology of it's so beautiful. The Range Sushi. Hawdes in the house. Holy crap. One of the originals. Good to see you, my friend. Back when our view count was like 4, Hawdes was one of them. All right. Well, I don't really need mana. And I don't really need creatures. And I do want to kill stuff, so I'm just going to trade. I don't know if they just don't see this or what, but these 1/1s trade. And now your Gary is neutered. Oh, thanks for the emoji there, Cooper the Red. Yeah, we've got all kinds of propaganda emojis if you unlock them with our little bits and whatnot. Whoop! All right. Since that's online, we'll go like that. Hey, come on. That's like our best creature, man. All right. Boink. Well, this might seem crazy, but I'm going to drop it. If she witches, I can kill the other rat. We can just block the rat with the Ghast. Have a Ghast of a time. I better be real careful here. Ooh, this is interesting. I could do one there. Let's do one there. And then I'll activate. I guess we'll be losing 2, but my experience is going to be kind of worth it. We still get a mana out of it. I really just want to keep the Gary at a minimum here. No soup for you. Point. Oh, wait. Ah, shoot. I shouldn't have done that. I meant to make the thing. All right. Mini punt. For some reason, I thought that didn't go through, but I forgot her damage goes on the Billy. So we really killed the rat. Didn't need to. I should have an extra token out there. Hopefully it won't be relevant. It might be, though. We'll see. Gotta remember, I've got 7 minutes. We probably might lose on time here. This is going to suck because of that draw. You're not expected to go that far, right? Well, let's see if he's got an honest removal spell. I don't want to get rat locked here. It's going to cost a cast down or defile. We've seen them, but at least we're out of the way of the witches. We see a swamp drop, probably followed by a Gary. Nope. All right. It's just more of that. That's why sometimes I don't even like to play Bone Picker, because it's just fun when they have to hurt themselves to play spells. I like that aspect of it a lot. I'm going to try to shut up here and focus on winning, because if we lose this one, I have to win again in like 6 minutes. Up. 2 rats down, a witch down. Boom, boom. Here we go. If you kill this now, you lose 2 life. I gain 2 life. If you don't, I gain 5 life. You lose 2 life. Very awesome. If we draw another Lifestaff, it gets really interesting, because then we put it on there, and then we can march through the Kombaji witches. Lorraine Sushi, thank you so much. Very generous of you, especially being, hey, boy, am I like clairvoyant? What's going on here? Thank you, Lifestaff. All right, so we gain 5 life. I probably hated that play. Like, God dang it. Heal through the turn. Heal through the turn. Gary neutering service. Schedule your appointment today. All right, here we go. Might as well. If he wants to use the witch on it, I'll just get a token out of it and shoot him instead. And we make a token. Whoop. Could be relevant if we drop a rat. You know, you can always trip it. Majority of the time, too, when people ask for this list when I'm playing online, it is against another black mage. They're just like, whoa. But this might be the game we lose on time because of that EOT rat showing up. And here we go. This is when we get flooded, right? I don't think so, Nim Chimpskey. I've tried it. Uh-oh. Let's turn into a game all of a sudden. Might be worthy of scooping if I draw another land here. It's 11 damage a turn. I don't know why he's not attacking with the witch. I guess in fear of Lifestaff. But the Lifestaff's almost hurting our clock here. Okay. We'll dispute the token. Draw 2 cards. That's pretty cool. We'll drop the dude. I'm going to keep that swamp in our hand just so they think we've got a trick. As I apply this. She wants to shoot it, then I'll shoot the witch. Decisions. Paladin 19 in the house. Good to hear from you, my friend. All right, well, there we go. Yeah, let's do this. Come on, put the swamp down. I don't know why that had to take 10 seconds. Good grief. Cool. Well, which is the thing. I tell you, that'll buy us a little bit of reprieve. Problem, that first Fierce Gargantua, boy, if you get to that mid game, that is a brutal. That's 20 damage right there if you count it up with the Unearth triggers. All right. Oh, I can see why they did that. That was a nice play there. No sense in foregoing this conclusion. We're going to gain 6, and we're going to take a whole lot more. Booyah! 25 looks nice now. In another turn or two, we're going to look very defeated. Oh, boy. I don't know, guys. I'm going to see what I draw, and then I'm going to scoop. Not that we can't win this one, but because of time. I would have never thought it would go to time. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. 2, 3. Better lucky than good. We're still going to take 10. We're going to be at 1. Actually, this kills us if they witch us. If you look closely with the double Unearth there. Yeah, I think we lose this either way. All right, so we'll target you. And then we'll trip for 4. We're going to take 10, so we're going to be at 1 life. Done. Yield through the turn. And yeah, we're going to be at 1 life, as they are. Yield through this turn. God, if he rats again, I'm going to just be like, what the hell? I should concede, you're right. But this isn't for money, so we'll see. It'll make for a more nail-biting experience, right? Why didn't they just Gargantua there? Oh, come on, deck. Come on. I don't want to get rat locked here. What's going on? Yield through the turn. All right, here we go. Come on. Why this is auto yield's taking so much time here? Is it just wanting me to concede? What's going on? Yield through the turn. Does he just not remember he has double sphere? What's going on here? Why wouldn't you sphere there? Our opponent's kind of punting now, right? 7. We got to do something this turn, or it's going to be, you know what time. Double staff's nice, but I'd rather keep the mana for, you know what? Let's see if we can find something worthy. We did not. We'll play this. 7, 10, 11. We'll play this. We'll yield through this. If we could just kill that, we'd be fine. Deadly Dispute in the different order. This guy's gonna... this is gonna be maddening. Yeah, you could do this here and we still lose. Well, no, we gain 3, depending on how he does it. Yeah, you can't even use the rat. We can block the first spheres now. This is pretty interesting. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Dreamer Stingo. That is correct. Yeah, we kind of got him up against the ropes here. That's right. The first sphere triggers the 1 life loss. Maybe they're looking at that life staff like, hey, I'm kind of glad I didn't scoop now. Nim Chimpskey? That's 2 out of 2, baby. Just kidding you. It's very rare that you're wrong, so I like to really put a spotlight on you when it is. Here we go. Been playing the board game Azul and having a really good time with that. That's a lot of fun. Well, that'll change things. Dang it. Damn Gary. He's going to do things in a little bit reverse order there. And, yeah. Why no sphere now? Okay. I really should consider a scoop here. I'll rock here. I'm just going to do this. Now. Two, 3. Here we go again, right? We go to a double draw game. Let's actually no, we'll do this. We'll attack. Should have attacked first, really, to kind of put more leverage on how this is going to roll out. Okay, that's interesting. Depends if this even goes down or not. We'll gain the life. We'll shoot you. Cool. 3. We might as well try to get some, let's see, 3 and 6. There we go. Yeah, done. Do we win? With 3 minutes left. Or do they have a tendrils? To which we can respond. Woo! Oh. All right, guys. Undefeated with my favorite list. Loving this thing. But I'm going to roll to a commercial, get some more coffee, and I'll be right back right after this. Enjoy the bird assistance.
Whether you choose land or creatures, soil matters. Our abundant growth line of products models the mixture of common soil, causing a groundswell of nutrients to attain giant growth. From our fungus fertilizers to our saproling spray, you can take the guesswork out of your next colony garden. Other products leave you only harsh sustenance compared to our superior brews. Abundant growth, a reviving dose to whatever target you choose.
Available at Salad's Upkeep.
Do you struggle to find happiness? Do you get the feeling there's something greater for you? There is.
And we're back. coffified. That's not even a word. Caffeinated, I should say. Me and my diuretic mouth. I'm always just shooting off made-up words. Okay, so we beat Heroic, which is usually a tough matchup. And then we beat Burn, and then we beat Mono Black. So we've got kind of a nice diverse metagame going on here. And what are we playing? We're playing Mono Black, but it's my version. Come to prominence via my son showing me this beautiful card in, what is it, Serrated Scorpion, being just one of the better cards that I just kind of missed. And he came into the Pauper scene and made his own little list, and I was proud papa, that sort of thing, and here we are. All right, we got a 3-lander. We're going to keep this. We got some accelerants. We got some removal. We don't know what we're up against. But even if we lose out, we'll be all right. Ooh, blue hexproof. I thought I was the only one that played that. So our Shambling Ghast is kind of a blah here because we have 3 lands and we don't really have a target for it. Could be relevant though. So in the meantime, I might as well just try to create a blocker. Still don't know really what we're up against. This is probably going to turn into some flying creation, I would imagine. I like this person's thinking process. Island Boggle, not something you see every Tuesday. That's for sure. Yeah. The steamed up glasses. The coffee is hot. My play is not. Nah. Give myself a break. I'm doing all right. I've had a few little punts, but I sure love that Abundant Growth soil commercial. My friend Tim Doherty did the voiceover for that. Very, very well-known actor in these parts and crazy cool dude. Such a well of talent I can pull from when I need him to do an accent or something. It just sounds completely different. Really helps bring the spot alive. All right. Hey, let's just start swarming, eh? I haven't seen anything I'm too afraid of. We'll bring out our little dudes. He's got a lot of little guys. I'm going to make a lot of little guys. And then we'll start ramping into some things. We'll see. Boop. Here we go. Come on now. And might as well attack. He probably thinks we're on Edict, so a double block here is pretty blah. We should attack first. If you're new to Magic, don't do what I just did. That's a lazy play style I've developed from streaming. Just like to do stuff, and then I can click on my little tilde key on the keyboard above the tab as my like yield until you do something turn. So I can just go like this with my thumb off to the side. And then sometimes when I'm playing too much Magic, my left hand gets sore on that thumb, and I'll switch the keyboard over to the minus on the numpad lock there and do that. Actually, my play skill goes up a lot when I do that because you're just that much more aware of kind of what you're doing. Yep, I was right. Spectral Flight showing up. Well, I don't think we really have to worry about first strike, so our Bone Pickers are going to be a really good matchup here. I probably think they're going to get by us, and they probably are. But again, so check this out. I said Heroic, Hexproof, and Burn are bad, and so 3 of the 4 matchups we're playing are those things. So maybe we are getting sniped. Just kidding. What a waste of time that would be. I see your test, Nim Chimpskey. Everything's going smooth on my end. I hope it is on everybody else's. Don't want to open up that can of worms. Here we go. Yeah, give us something good to eat. That's pretty cool. That's attack. Yeah. I'm going to sack the Scorpion because we don't really have any targets. And life might be a thing at taking 5 a chunk. We take 3. This is when we really hope we get like double Bone Splitter. I know that's kind of wishing a little bit too hardy. We'll see. Drop, drop, drop. Gain 2 life. Bone Splitter, or Bone Picker. Nope. Land. Boy, that's kind of underwhelming, isn't it? Dang it. All right, we'll just bring out the Myr here. Abundant Growth, that is epic. Thank you for the props. I just keep writing and writing until I can't fit any more private jokes in. On our community tab on YouTube, we put up a kind of a list of every card we've mentioned or showcased in a graphic or whatever, of the ones I could think of. It took me about 2 hours to put together. I was very bored one night, and I was just very bored. I was like, you know what? Let me go through this. And what it was, I started making a deck list because I was like, wouldn't it be funny to play an all-commercial deck list, right? So like every single card, and when it's getting close, we're up to about 50 commercials now, and many of the commercials show 3 or 4 cards. So pretty soon that's going to be one of these. Look, I have 17 lands, guys. This is a little silly. One of the few times I'm going to cycle Unearth here. This is maddening. If it gives me a land, I'm going to punch. All right, that feels pretty good. We can sneak that through and go from there. I want to... I'll keep the gas back because I'd rather have the extra mana. Heyo, Lewin Brackets. Good to hear from you. First time I saw Abundant Growth. Oh, awesome. African Haggis if you want, man. It's a really good use of your time, and I do mean that. Just sit back and load up our... if you go to YouTube and you go to the playlists, you can watch all of them just in a row, just kind of a random order. It's a good time if you get the popcorn ready and a beer or whatnot. But anybody else having lag issues? Nim Chimpskey's saying there's quite a bit of lag here. Hopefully it's just Nimmy. Damn Netherlands. Maybe your water table's getting too high. It's interrupting the feed. We don't have many turns left, and we can't really trigger this, can we? We need to bring back our Serrated Scorpion. I don't think we're going to be able to win here, guys. There must be something going on because I'm just clicking on the swamp and look at this. This is going crazy. Like I said, I'm always hardwired in, so yeah, I can bring out 2. I can kill that, and then what, right? I'll bring out the fear of it anyway. Yeah, we could trip it for 1. I want to encourage this block, if anything. Yeah, that'll do 4 to him if we trip it for 1. And then if we top deck our you-know-who, we could still be in this. But we don't know if they're on counter magic or what. I think they would have countered the rat, but maybe not at our life total. We'll see. I think we're going to game 2 empty-handed. We have a lot of answers, and we just drew the one that we didn't want in that order. Would have been nice to see that earlier, but hey, that's why we love the game, though. Okay, we're dead. No sense in seeing what's going on. Let's draw a card. Hiya. And it's Unearth. That would have helped with the Scorpion, but all right. Well, it's about time we write a W down, right? All right, hex. Blue. And we'll bring in this. I don't think we're going to be needing that. I do like 1 Lifestaff. I like being able to do that. Being able to shoot things is not as important, so I'm going to lose like 2 Fiends. Maybe make it 3. And I'll bring in 2 Duresses. Could bring in Faerie Macabre, maybe. You know what? That might be the better call because of Rancor and as a blocker. It's just those things are going to be so big that Faerie Macabre's not going to do much but Bone Picker well. So I'm going to keep it like this. We can get rid of two good cards. I think more than that's a little reckless. We'll see. Oh, apologies there, guys. That's one of the advantages of watching on YouTube. Everything's all seamless. Sorry about that. Not much I can do. Yeah, I want to play first. 2 lands. We've got it early everything. We'll keep. We've got Bone Picker too, so I guess we could... What? I think the best play here, since we're on the play, is even though Duress is so tempting, I want to Ghast attack, make the token, Deadly Dispute. We're going to just have super ramp, right? We're going to have like 4 mana on turn 2. That's a black deck, guys, and it's not a dark ritual effect. Yeah, it's only for a turn, so it does have a ritual-esque cheapness factor to it, meaning you can't just float the mana, but... Hiya. My goodness. Well, hopefully it's just the chat, not the gameplay. I'm not sure how that works, because the only streaming I watch is Little Fight on Thursday evenings with his the whole card on D&D, which is a really good grab a beer or the libation of your choosing, kids. Maybe a nice glass of orange juice or milk or whatever, and watch the shenanigans begin. Pretty fun little stream. Alrighty, let's attack. So since there's no target, this can be a really fun play too. Check this out. we're going to Deadly Dispute it, and we'll make 2 tokens. So we're going to get all of our mana back, and then we can turn on Duress and the Bone Picker if we want to. Check this out. I just wish Deadly Dispute's artwork was better. Really not a fan of this little like halfling creature. I don't know. All right. There's 1. There's 2. Awesome. Okay, let's well, this will make things a little easier. Now let's do this. And I guess we've got an extra mana here. I'll just Duress right now. See what we got. Flying's not that important here, but maybe they've got some ultra tech. Ooh, counterspell, we don't like that. They got a Force, they got a Preordain. I don't really even care about counterspell, meaning that a lot of the creatures we sack still do things, but he is playing hexproof, so we'll get rid of counterspell. Yeah, pretty good scenario there. Digital Magic Flood loves to flood ya. Yeah, there's a lot of theories out there, especially on MTGO, about just the algorithms and such. Seems like the longer you play a deck, the more you run into that crazy stuff. Then you load up a new one, then you play the old one, and everything runs great again. So we can't lose to white borders, guys. Come on now. And speaking of which, we only have 2 cards left. I redid the promo for, you know, which card will burn if you have 10,000 of our little Pauper points in the corner there of the chat. And we've only got 2 left. So it was like, if you remember the promo, the little target moves around all these targets. Now it's only 2, so it's like this little ping pong game. It's not visually as friendly. All right, here we go. We will attack. Our opponent has 2 of, we know 50% of their hand. All right. I'm going to favor the Ghast here so I can dispute at the end of turn and at least provide for a blocker. That might not even be the play here. You know what? I think the better play is just to come all in here. So what I meant by counterspell not being that good against this kind of a list, so imagine fairies and such. So follow me here. I cast Deadly Dispute, and my real target is to kill maybe your 3/2 Delver, right? Well, you counter the Deadly Dispute. It's true. I don't draw those 2 cards, but your Delver still dies because part of the ability is sacrificing the creature. So it's a whole lot of fun that way. It's very fun. And if I can keep these things coming, we're just going to be fine because they can't really get through anything. And we've got a decisive air power here too. Okay, that's enough swamps for the rest of the game. I'm good. Thank you very much. Attack. Now, counterspell is a little bit better with a hexproof list because then I have to target your face, but... Woo, says Lorraine Sushi. Actually, I don't know if there was some... I heard some quick little thing about Ric Flair getting canceled or something. I'm like, not Ric Flair! I'm just like, sorry, I like to do that too much. It's too much part of the zeitgeist. You watch any UFC event now, and that's all they do is go, woo! It's crazy. All right. We don't really need the acceleration. We'll bring this up here. This thing's moving at the speed of light. Dispel. So, okay, we don't draw it, but he still takes 2. And then we'll just rinse, repeat, right? Perilous Myr. Oh, interesting, Nim Chimpskey. There you go. Conspiracy theory. That would be funny. If you don't change a deck list often enough, it'll just start drawing bad. All right. He's got flying, folks. I don't know why he used a green for that, telegraphing that their leftover card is a... I better kill these because we've seen it all. We've seen Preordain and that island show up. Okay. Well, at this rate, we can just trade, right? He's got 2 turns. Oh, this is brutal. Hey, we'll attack. Got 1 card left. I don't like to live in fear, so I'm just going to drop the Chittering Rats here. Good call by our opponent. Boink. And a lot of times people think, oh, he's got to kill one of his own creatures. No, I don't. I just can accelerate my mana. 2, 3. You got the counterspeller, don't you? I ain't living in fear. Woo! Yellow. Okay. Just making sure it wasn't the lag making me try to trip up. Well, show me the counter. All right, good. Game 3. Can anything beat this list? Well, we are going up against definitely, no offense to our opponent, but more roguey brew than the other ones. We're all kind of meta staples, heroic burn, and mono black control. Duress felt pretty good there. Yeah, I think we're good. My spidey senses are saying bring in one more life staff, but I don't know why. Speaking of tap dancers, my wife was a tap dancer. All right, so if we had a Village Rites, I would keep this because this is a swamp if you kind of know the play style of this list, but we're going to scoop this. We've got this, and we've got triple ramp if something dies, which it probably won't, except by our hand, but I'm going to keep this, and we're going to get rid of the 2-drop here. We really want to keep this because, well, we're playing a hexproof list, but if we're going to lose, this will probably be the turn here. Good. Nothing. I'm glad it's not a preordain or a boggle. I hope they, like, piracy charm our dude here. So if we draw, like, either a swamp or a Village Rites, we're just right in this, right? Everything's back to normal. Our ghasts are going to cause mayhem as far as being able to block and stuff, and we still have a outlet in. We just really need to either draw a swamp or Village Rites here, and then we're fine. It's pretty rare. You know, it's maddening. Sometimes you'll have like 10 lands down, and then you Village Rites, and you do this and you do that, and you draw like 6 or 7 cards in one turn, and then all you draw is lands. You're like, come on, there's only 17 in this. This is like a stompy curve. It can drive you nuts, but all decks do that. Maybe your opponent is your wife. I highly doubt that, but that would be pretty damn funny. Okay, we might as well attack first, so he might choose to block here, and then we can bone picker our way out of the trouble. Sorry about the slow chat, everybody. Like I said, not much I can do about it. Okay, well, let's diversify our threats here in case there's some sort of echoing nastiness, but if anything dies or we draw a swamp, we'll be okay to take care of that slippery boggle. Hopefully they go all in on a spell, and there's no counterspell window. If there is, that's what we're playing on Earth for. And it has flying now, so it's a bit of a race. If we can kill that scorpion. We'll get a whole lot of value if we drop a swamp here. Alright, not anymore. Dang it. I think we're going to lose this one. Oh man, this is game 3 too, darn it. Come on, there it is. Alright, well. Let's attack. Maybe he'll just block and we can get really lucky. Given the way this deck works, I'm much more likely to play this Marauder, and I'm going to sack it instead. We have Unearth. There's 4 cards that can save us. With the other 2 Marauders, it's 6 out of 51. Pretty good odds. Wish we had 1 more mana there. We could have put up a flyer. But if we get a swamp or anything dies, we'll still be all right. It's not like it has first strike. But unfortunately, now they're holding back on the counter spells. So that Scorpion could be very pivotal in this game. I'm addicted to the new Caleb Gannon Pauper deck, RG Firetron. I haven't seen it, Luan Bragix. Well, this will help. Not really. I don't know where our sacrifice outlets are. Yeah, they got a counterspell. Or they're a really good poker player. This digital pause. Woo! Alright. I don't mind that so much. Ooh, hopefully that's the only counterspell, and we can, well, we're going to take 5, and then got another 3 after trample goes through, but we'll still be able to kill it. Or we could unearth. We've got a few outs. Swamp, unearth. There's any sort of draw spell. Gain us enough life to live a turn and then be able to play Bone Picker. Okay. Now we really need that Fleshbag Marauder to come back because it'll get around Umbra. This is getting scary. I think we're going to lose our first game. It's going to be against Rogue. How cool is that? One of the best things about this kind of style, and I always tend to try to brew that way, there are no dead cards. Even against like a mill fog list, there's no dead cards in this. All of our removal is organic. So let's attack. There's no reason not to. And we need to gain some life here, so we will try with the Serrated Scorpion play. Crunch. All right. That will kill this. So keep us a little bit alive. Not really. If we can get this Bone Picker to drop. Well, that's cool. Let's see what you got, sucker, in case it is a counterspell. 4 is going to get through. Hey, look at that. Cool. Would have felt like a fool if I did it in reverse, right? Unfortunately, we're still not out of the woods. That Umbra is going to keep that thing alive, and we're going to take a whole lot of damage. Got a block here. Well, that Duress was aptly timed, wasn't it? 2. Very good play. Or nice top deck, I should say. Oh, there it is. Darn it. We can't do anything. All right. Well, we lose our first game. Pretty cool that it's to that, right? Maybe we can... yeah, all we can do is 1 damage. Now, if these were the little devils instead of the mana dudes, what would that be? We could trip for 1, 2, 3, 4. Would that be enough? It would be. If those were the devils, we would have been able to pull that off. Right? Yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, I would have done it. All right. Well, congrats to the Tap Dancer. The first deck to take this one down today. It does happen. It's not an invincible list. I sure think it feels that way sometimes. But, hey, due to the slow rolling day today, I'm just going to run right into the last game here, and well, hopefully the YouTube feed will be nice and unaffected. But for right now, Twitch is kind of acting up, so I'm going to go right into the next one here, and we could 1, 2, 3 GG. Oh yeah, did that. Oh, there's another thing I wanted to. I can't remember if I talked about this last week or not, but I call it the Ultimo card. It's something I've made up completely, but I write it down in my notes sometimes. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you really, really like this 60, not so much the 75, but the 60. And you're like, I don't know what to cut because I want to put card X in. Invent a card that just does amazing things. Like it's, Phyrexian Mana in this build, and it does 3 damage to your opponent, and you gain 3 life, and you draw a card. Something that you just, okay, I only have one of those, and I have to play it. What would you take out? And that kind of helps you see the deck like a stranger does that isn't emotionally invested, because let's face it, everybody has their favorite decks. This is one of mine. And you get a little too close to it sometimes, and it helps to have people like you in the chat and stuff to look at it with fresh eyes and unbiasedly look at it, and just, science 101, right? Kind of an unbiased perspective. And so that's kind of something I've leaned on. And in this list, actually, the one card I would remove is 1 Costly Plunder, when I've really given this a heavy thought. So can't tell you how many times Crypt Rats just wins games. Walls, you unearth it. And like I said, we haven't seen it today, but it's really fun. Have 4 mana, you drop a Crypt Rats against a counter-heavy opponent, and then they, like I said, Lightning Bolt, Galvanic Blast, Cast Down. Maybe you draw 2 cards, or you let it die because you have Unearth, and then you bring it back when you really want to, and you can do more stuff with your spells, and they kind of overextend, thinking, I got rid of the rat, because most people play 2 or 3. Well, not me. I play 4. I mean 8. All right. Here we go. I think it's pretty cool that our 1 loss is to Rogue. Maybe it'll be 2 losses. We'll see how we go here. Alrighty. Come on, list. Boy, I don't know what the deal is because I'm hardwired in. Maybe I'll have to reset my router. It's been a while since I've done that, but the internet works or it doesn't. I don't know why this would be here, and I don't really have a clogged feed. Maybe my son's on the other line. Who knows? Don't think so. All right, we'll mulligan this. Now that's server side, because that pinwheeled for quite a while and did that. Oh, this is an ugly, ugly, ugly hand, but we'll keep it. Get rid of a swamp. Say done. Ugh, this is not I mean, if we had like Vault of Whispers, we could at least Costly Plunder into some sort of value. But, you know, we're one card away. We have so many 1-drops. If we just top deck one of our many 1-drop spells, we're right back in this. I'm just so used to just having these intoxicating hands where you're like, oh, what do I do first? Just craziness. So my friend from was over in Switzerland for quite a while. Brought back some really good chocolates. Very enthusiastic to mill those down. Very good. Very good. All right. I got a Quarian Ranger. This is Elves or Stompy. Either of which is not that good against, or Fleshbag Marauder is not that good against. There's one of our 1-drops showing up. Full effect. If they fight it or something, we can always Village Rites it. Eat 2 life and rinse repeat. Kind of want to wait till our turn though, so we can maybe drop a bone picker. I've got 3 cards coming our way next turn. Well, a combination of this turn and next turn. Alrighty, this suggests Stompy. We'll find out real quick. All right. Looks like I'm right. Alrighty. This is all about the Crypt Rats and staying alive. Getting that initial salvo of all their creatures rushing at you out of the way. Which makes this a little tough because man alive. Come on, Crypt Rats. Oh, to do it now or later. Dang it. Ah, man. I think I'm going to wait on this. I want that blocker, which will negate 4 damage. That makes things a little bit easier. Might be able to get in some free damage here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I can't really be blocking with this. That's not that great of a pickup. I think I'm just going to pass here. We'll plunder. I mean, I could block there. I want this to be like 0 or 1 before I kind of invest. Bone Picker's a good finisher. It's not that great of a blocker against Stompy. They're happy to trade that. Even though I only pay 1 for it the majority of the time. I need to block this turn. That's a lot of damage coming our way. When deck building, the one thing you never want to forget is... This is when you need to cue Admiral Akbar. It's a trap. It's not really a trap. He probably thinks I'm slow rolling here. Alrighty. Well, that sucks because that gets rid of both of our options there. There's not much we can do at instant speed, so I might as well use the plunder here and do this. So we're going to take a whole lot of damage. And by that I mean 10. We're getting 2 of it back though. And the Bone Picker would have been dead anyway. Okay. That's cool. I'm going to get back the Scorpion and play the Scorpion and then drop the other one. So that might be a factor here. We take a whole lot of damage. Savage Swipe really put Stompy on the map with that boy. Wowza. Great card. You going to do the thing? Speaking of Phantasmal Bear. All right, I actually like this. We'll play this. We'll play this. We'll play this. We haven't attacked yet, and our life totals are almost the same. That's always fun. Ooh, that's tempting, isn't it? I mean, obviously I want to drop the Bone Picker because they probably don't have another Savage Swipe, but we'll see. Yeah, you know, the more I think of it, I think the Ghast was better there because not even killing a creature, if we draw a swamp, I'm going to feel fine because we're going to wrath the board. And because we're going to do that, I think I might let that bone picker pick its fight somewhere. Okay, that's fine. This is fine. All right. Death Touch, I think, is going to kill this, right? You're on the white wine now. Okay. That's fine. The bone picker wasn't going anywhere. And because of that, I should have forecast that a little bit better and known that Shambling Ghast was going to go the distance there. I could block. I'm just going to go after the sheer life gain, or should I? Yeah, we'll do this. It's probably I want to encourage the overextension here. Blistering start by our opponent, but look, we're within 2 because of triple Scorpion plays, so that's 6 life. I mean, we'd be 6 life. Math. All right. This feels pretty good. All right. You know, yeah, I could do that. I could rats now. I could just double ghast, block, shoot. Let me do that. I'm going to slow roll this again. That's right, Nim Chimpskey. Do your thing. I know. What's that old saying? It's 4 o'clock somewhere. And that is very true, especially when streaming with all of you. We'll go over the deck list after this, and got a funny little kids drawing MTG thing to show off. But other than that, yeah. Oh no, we're at about the 2-hour mark. We usually go between 2 and 3 hours, so good times. Alrighty, let's I guess ask for a fight. If we do this, we can just trade, right? We only take 1. These both trade. And then our Crypt Rat for 1 is going to have a lot of fun. Unless, honestly, it's probably just a, what do you call it? What's that spell that creature gets 3/3, mutagenic, something or other? No, that's mutagenic. I guess he doesn't have it. Unless they want to put it on the Vault Scourge. I guess they would have done that at instant speed, though. Hunger of the Howl Pack, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Why do you play 4 Crypt Rats, old man? Why do you play 4 Crypt Rats? Who does that? Watch, this will be a 4/4 and it'll prove the point, right? Guess not. 2, 3, and here we go. No sense in holding the key other than just good habits. Yield. So blistering start. Opponent just goes all in. Attack. Scorpions keep us alive. We're within 2 points and we haven't attacked. Derailed. Just one random guide. Do you know what I like about Scorpions? Everything. Sounds like my son talking. All right. Let's do this. I'll keep back the Marauder. Maybe he's going to drop a... Come on. Let's go. All right. It's not that great against Stompy, but at this stage of the game it sure is. We'll see. Depends. I'd like to get some a little bit more backup here, like a draw spell at instant speed, you know, being able to kill stuff. Given our graveyard, actually we haven't shown off too much other than oh no, we've played Village Rites and Costly Plunder, so they kind of know what we're up against. They're probably waiting for a 2-drop to show up, but Fleshbag will have a little thing there. So it doesn't mean we're going to win this game, but look at how blistering fast. I mean, that was a very good Stompy draw. It came out boom, tempo, you know, double BTEs in the house. You know, he drew the Savage Swipe and still able to hold on. And our deck's fighting us with extra lands. I mean, this is, we've only got 10 lands left in the deck. Now we're even. Alrighty. And there's another one. Whoop. And if they do drop some, like 2 things, or like a, let's say a, oh, what's that card? Nest Invader. Not quite sure if Fleshbag would get around that because our Footlight Fiend, yeah, I wouldn't be able to take that out. I think the way the stack works, they'll just sack the token and then our Footlight Fiend would have to hit him in the face. But still, a 3/1 body trades with a lot of things, so As a kid, I liked that band, the Scorpions. Talk about 80s. Woo! All right. I could hear them just swearing at their deck like, come on! They probably play 17 lands too. It happens. All right. Fleshbag's interesting. I really like... I'd rather have this, though. Bring in here. Scorpion kept us alive. These can ping just about everything in their list. Can maybe lose a Plunder and bring in one Snuff Out. I don't know. Usually Snuff Out gets me in trouble against Stompy. I try to just err on the side of staying alive and trading. That being said, I'm going to bring in all 3 Lifestaffs because if we just survive, we tend to win. We like our flyability here. What do we lose? What do we lose? I know I suggested the Costly Plunder, but we're bringing in 3 Lifestaffs, so that's so much food given the Vault of Whispers and the Perilous Myr. So nice to have one of these. I never like to touch my rats. Every time I do, even in matchups, I think like, oh, that's not that good. It is. It's always good. All right, we'll lose 1 Plunder. We are on the draw anyway. Woo! Wind of Change. All right, win this one. We're 4-1 on the day. I'm sure they're going to not keep a 1-lander this time, though. Well, I kind of like this hand because we have Unearth and we have Shambling Ghast to really get us out of the gates. The problem being, I mean, if we draw a Swamp, we're fine. Because this can trade with any 2-2. But at this stage, we want it to turn into food. But we have a Crypt Rats. We've got Lifestaffs. We've got a Scorpion. We're on the draw. It's a really risky one, but I'll keep it. That's fine. And with this scenario, I'm actually going to lean on Serrated Scorpion. Bring this dude out. That way we can turn off some sort of Sargon Pit Skulk sort of play here. Give him a 2-2, but then our Shambling Ghast can take care of the rest. All right. Now this will cost him a lot of tempo. I'll do it all day long, dude. Booyah. You gotta use your mana to cast Rancor again. Boy, how good would Faerie Macabre be right now? Look at that graveyard. Right for the pluck and just boop boop. Probably get an auto scoop if we had it or brought it in. But yeah, Young Wolf's there. I don't know. If you knew the 75 going in, and you could maybe bring in 1 or 2 of those. But keep in mind, it's very fun to just discard Faerie Macabre on your first turn to nothing. You can do that and unearth it, and you have a 2-2 flyer on turn 1. It's a pretty good play. I mean, you're going down in value as far as like using 2 cards to do it, but sometimes that tempo play can really bring it. All right, well, let's, I guess we could go from here. This will kill stuff. And we'll just bring out the Ghast. Bring out the Ghast. It does seem appropriate, and I might be wrong, Dreamer Stango. I like it against a lot of lists, but Stompy isn't one of them. It's just a lot of trading and frustration on their end, hopefully going on. That's what I try to bring to it. I'm just going to double block here if he keeps going. See, even against a groundswell list like this is a problem. Maybe he has Aquarian Ranger in his hand. It's like, well, I can never attack now because this stuff's going to die, or that. So I'm saying now, if I can just kill that Footlight Fiend, there goes his engine, right? I'll lean on this. I probably shouldn't even attack there. I probably should have just kept that back. I want to represent a little bit of damage here, though, but I'm probably taking 3. We just really need some one of our 12 draw spells to show up so that we can really turn this thing on here. Vault Scourge, such a good card. I considered it in this list, but again, we're caring about a card, right? And that kind of sucks. At this stage, I think the right play here is to just kill the Vault Scourge. Yeah. Sure. You know, he's got, looks like he's really skimped on his forest count, and it's costing him a lot of tempo, and so we're just trying to make him pay for that. Hopefully we don't see a forest here. Nope, good. All right. Well, these will trade even. That's good times. I guess we could drop that, or we could do that too. That would be pretty fun. Let's let's do this. Let's unearth this dude. It's always good times. We'll just do this. This is just like good game. I wouldn't want to be at 14 with a Snuff Out kind of, whereas Unearth, you know, turns everything into 2, especially when you add up the ability. We can attack, we can block, and when it dies, stuff happens. So there's a lot of pseudo value in a lot of these things that hopefully you guys are understanding and getting and seeing firsthand. I mean, I've only lost 1 game. It's not likely to see that in a league. I'll have to double check on how we drew that game, but look at this scenario. You know, you attack, stuff dies, I gain 3 life. I can get a wee bit depressing. Ooh, Elephant Guide showing up. Okay, that's enough life staffs. Good grief. Let's attack with this one. I probably should have put both life staffs on that. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I'm just getting cocky, I guess. I've got a nurse come in. Probably the wrong play here. I'll just bring out the life staff. God, I wish I had Village Rites. This is just hideous. Life staff shows up. Oh, maybe he's got Gleeful Sabotage, but again, it's going to cost him a few turns, and this is going to trade. All right, stuff's going to start dying. Good. BTE showing up. He's probably really thirsty for this turn. Like, I finally got that 2nd mana. Okay. But I mean, look closely. He can't attack. Hup, up, up, bum. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, cool. All right. Well, if we do that, we can do that. I'll attack with this. That's fine. We'll gain 3 life. I'll just get 2 tokens out of this. And yeah, we'll just make a token. Might as well ramp, huh? So we can trade with that Guaf all day long with this, because we'll do 3 and then the last one will hit. Unless he's got some cool, you know, spell from the yard or something like that, right? Alrighty, we can really go crazy here. I'll drop a Bone Picker. Actually, I think Scorpion. I like the Scorpion play here because I can equip, and then that just might get a concession when they see, like, you know, hey, look at all this good stuff going down, right? Probably this, right? Let's do that. He wants to Savage Swipe. It'll still trade evenly. This way, it just clogs up the ground, and I'm just gonna gain 9 life if anything happens. So thank you for that, Nim Chimpskey. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Holy crap, 41 viewers. That's that kind of stuff's new to me. I'm used to being in the 20s. So thank you so much for joining us. This is my creation. I wish I had a cool name for it, but I call it Black Sack because that's what it does. It sacrifices a whole bunch. We have beaten pretty much everything we want to throw at this thing. Yeah, I guess we'll just do this and get a 2 for 1, right? I could just block there. That might be funner. I'd rather just do this to show off. We gain 6 life, we lose 2, and then we kill 2 creatures with 1 stone. Just kind of the way of the world. But this is kind of a new play style, and I swear every time I play it, people are like, whoa, that's cool, after they get kind of the gist of it. It's like, yeah, all your removal is doing nothing. It's hard not to just get a little arrogant when you play it like this, because it's like their plan becomes your plan, and they're doing what you want them to do. And all right, he's going to turn this into a big 8/7, and then we can just kill it with Bone Picker, or what's going on here? He's going to fight something. We still got Crypt Rats back up. Alrighty, well, that's interesting. I guess we can do this. Okay. That can't be the target. All right, well, I guess we'll target something else then. Let's do this. And we could come over for 4, but I'll just rock like this. We know he's got Rancor, such, but we can still trade here. And I'm at 24, and if anything goes down, we're still gaining life. So it's really, that's only a 2-2 now. At Biograph, I have to admit, I was a little like, holy crap, when I saw that spoiled, and I've yet to see it really. It's one of those, when it's out and you're winning, it wins you the game because it's a green angler and such. And I'm not saying it's a bad card, but it does play a little clunky. Goes a little against the grain. I think the original Stompy list might be a bit stronger, but what do I know? All right, so we're going to gain 5 life. It takes our opponent's entire turn. They lose 2 life. We gain 5. And we're going to make it 8. Could just block here, but I don't know if I want to. We just win next turn. Yeah, just let it through. Yeah, you hit for 6. We're still over 20 life. Careful not to lose the focus, right? Lifestaffs make things stronger. And here we go. Well, we'll just put this on here. Put this on here. Oh, darn it. All right. Well, we're 1 away, but if anything dies, it's just good times. And this is when it gets really fun, right? I mean, if he lets us live to the next turn, lets us live, we're at 23. You can't attack, can't kill the Perilous Myr, or you're dead. Can't wait till next turn, or we just trip the rats for 1 and you're dead. And this is why I'm always playing this list, guys, because it's gorgeous. So this is Black Sack, 4-1 on the day. I really think we should have gone 5-0. Super high on this list. I have suffered a lot through this list, guys. We're going to go over the list here, and then we're going to call it a day. Thank you for joining me, everybody. But this is, if you can bring up the deck list for anybody curious at the end of the show, I appreciate that. Nim Chimpskey or Shiraz or Lorraine Soshi. We've got 17 lands. We used to run 18. That was one of the conceits I made. I had to admit 18 was a little bit heavy. My argument was I just don't want to stumble and I want to have rats bait. But there were so many times, we saw it today, where you get flooded even with 17. To prevent that, we can even sacrifice 4 of our lands via the Costly Plunder or Deadly Dispute. And if you look, if you look closely, we have 12 draw spells. That's a lot, and it's awesome. And there's so many games you're up against islands across from you, and you look at the graveyard on turn 6 or 7, and you're up 4 or 5 cards. It's intoxicating. And all your creatures, that's the thing. When this dies, good things happen. When this dies, you've got options. Good things happen. When this dies, you can do stuff. When this dies, a lot of good things happen. It trades with Guardian of the Guild Pact. And I said at the top of the show, maybe you're just joining us, good times. We've got this, and usually you want to sacrifice it, because if you're playing Hexproof or Heroic, you throw it in your yard because we're playing 4 Unearths. How do we get those Unearths? We draw a whole lot of cards, like 28, I think. And then we Crypt Rats, anything that goes wide. And Bone Picker is the only creature we really care about. And don't be afraid, if you're holding an Unearth in your hand, drop that Crypt Rats against a red or black player. They're going to waste mana on it, depending. It's, obviously depends on the board state. And then you unearth it, and then with the mana you would have spent to cast it, you wrath the board, and then you rinse, repeat, and you bring everything back in good times. So this is my baby, Black Sack. I just love it. I don't know what it is with the letter B. I've made Boros Bully. I've made Brute Squad. Super Bully, I guess, started with an S. There was a long time ago, there was a deck called Black Bastard. And now it's Black Sack. So I guess I'm partial to Bs. I did get a lot of those in high school. Only a few A's here and there, but booyah. Anyway, thank you for that, Lorraine Sushi. I think you'll really like it, knowing that black's one of your favorite colors, or is your favorite color. So yeah, I really, really, really like this list, guys. And in the sideboard, we've got Duress, one more Marauder here, the 4 Macabres. And don't be afraid. A lot of people don't see this angle. Discard this for nothing. Turn 1 if you're the aggro, if your hand permits. Maybe you've got another one, and you just need to get a jump on the person. You discard this. There doesn't even have to be targets, and then you unearth it. So you have a 2/2 flyer on turn 1. You do lose a bit of value, but sometimes it can be a little dependent on the game state. sometimes nothing. It's always dependent on the game state. What am I saying? 4 Snuff Out's kind of a necessity against big things and walls and whatnot. And then we've got the 2 other Lifestaffs against other aggro lists where we're not being the aggro. So many times, as you saw against that Stompy game, we're playing defense and our life totals are the same because of, you know, all of the shenanigans that we got going on. So try it. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a neat little reverse psychology thing. And they're just sitting there killing your stuff. You're like, sometimes if I've had a few too many, somebody will kill my Perilous Myr and I'll just write, thank you. You know, it's like we're trying to play the same game here. I probably shouldn't be saying this because people are going to get onto it. It's just different enough of a play style given the history of the game that I don't think a lot of people see this style or angle. And it's really, really, really gorgeous. So anyway, I'm going to be rolling out here, guys. I'll save the commercials till next week, and we're going to go off with a neat little fun game. I believe it's Shadow Mage Theater. I love these little shadow puppets. See if you can guess them. We'll see you next time on PauperGanda next Saturday. We'll slowly be ramping up to Halloween. Check out the Gundo Ghost if you're into Halloween, the little podcast there. And we'll see you guys same time, same place next week. Hopefully. Maybe I'll have job updates, right? But hope to see you guys online soon. Adios. Let's see. We're going to go here.